Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a feel and just a simple polish with some glitter. So I'm just going in with I'm using a fine drill bit. I don't know why. I probably couldn't find my coarse drill bit, but I'm using my fine one, and I'm removing the gel polish as well as the sequins in the nails. So we're gonna go ahead, or maybe it is my coarse drill bit, I don't know, it kind of looks like a fine, I don't know, but you do want to make sure that you use a coarse drill bit to make sure that you're not doing this forever, that you just quickly take off the gel polish. So again, we're gonna go ahead and remove the gel polish as well as the sequins in the nails, and then we're gonna come back and push the cuticles back and remove the shine from the natural nail. Alrighty, so now I'm going in with my Tammy Taylor Peel and Stick Cuticle Pusher, and we're just pushing those cuticles back. After we do that, we're going to go in with the 180 sanding band. As always, you don't want to use anything more coarse than a 180, because if not, you will damage your client's nail. So as always, I use a different sanding band for each client, so make sure that you switch them out. And I'm also removing just the shine. Remember, we don't file down super hard, because we don't want to thin the nail out. We're literally just filing to remove the shine. As you can see, I file from the right side over to the left side, just going back and forth until I remove all of the shine from that natural nail. If I was to skip this step, then the nails would literally pop off like the next day, or not very long after we do the nails. So make sure that you remove all of the shine from the nail. Alrighty, so we dust the nails off. So now I'm going to go in with my primer, and as always, I'm using my OPI Bondex. We're going to apply that to the natural nail. As always, only apply it to the natural nail. Do not get it on the skin, because if they have any little cuts, it will burn them super bad. Like, I'm sure everybody had that happen to them, and you know it burns really bad. So after that, we're going to go in with the Mia Secret Acrylic System in the color pink. Place that bit closer to the cuticle area, pat it down, and then brushing it down towards the tip just to blend it in. After that, we're going to clean around the cuticle area, and make sure that you're wiping your brush off a lot as you're working, because you don't want that acrylic to get stuck to your brush. And then as always, if you need to go back and add some more, that's fine. Just add it wherever you need it. As always, make sure you look at the nail from different angles, because just looking at it from the top, it's not going to help. So make sure, like, every time I hold the finger up, I'm looking at it from the side, because I'm able to see if I have a nice stress area or if I need to go back and add some more to the tip. But again, I'm not able to see that from just looking at it from the top. So make sure that you look at it from different angles. That way you don't miss anything. And then after that, if it's fine and it has a nice stress area, if the tip, has a nice thickness, then of course you can move on to the next nail. But if not, only come back and add acrylic to the places where you actually need it. You don't want to apply it to the whole nail again, because then you're going to have a big fat nail, and then you're going to have to do a lot of filing. So make sure that you work smarter and not harder. And then as well, make sure that you're cleaning around the cuticle area. You don't want any of that acrylic on the skin, because it will cause your nails to lift. So make sure that you're cautious of that and that you quickly clean up as soon as it touches the skin. And you like, that's why I say that you want to make sure that you don't use a brush that's too big. I always recommend a number 8 or 9 for beginners, just because you're able to control your product a lot better, because you're not picking up a big huge bead. You're just working with a little bit and you're able to control it much better. So as always, I do have a promo code for Alpha Brush, so I'll leave that down in the description so you guys will check them out. Alrighty, so same thing. Pick up your bead, place it closer to the cuticle area and dab it down. As you can see, I push it up with my brush closer to the cuticle area. Again, you don't want to just place the first bead right on the cuticle, because it's going to get on the skin and it's going to be really hard to get it off. So we're going to clean around the cuticle area, and then as always, looking at the nail from the side to make sure that you have that nice arch, or people call it an arch or an apex or a stress area, whatever you want to call it, but basically it's just the back of the nail closer to the cuticle area. You want that part to be a little bit thicker than the rest of the nail, because that's where your nail gets its strength from. If it's really thin and you have a really flat nail, then it's going to be really easy for your nail to break off if you hit it on something. So make sure that, again, that part is a little bit thicker than the rest of the nail. And then also another thing you want to keep in mind when you're working is you want to take into consideration which nail you're doing. Like as you seen a minute ago, I grabbed a bead and I was going to place it on the pinky, but I looked at it and it was way too big. So I know that if I would have placed it on that pinky, then it would have been a hot mess. So that's why I switched over to the thumb. So again, you want to make sure that you take into consideration what nail you're doing and what size bead you grab, because if you just place it on there anyways, like if I would have placed that big bead on the pinky anyways, like it just would have been way too much product. So make sure that you look at how much product you're using. You don't want to get, again, a huge bead for the pinky, because then you're going to have a lot of filing to do and it's just going to be a hot mess. So that's why I say always just work with a little bit of product at a time, especially if you're a beginner, and then just work your way up, you know, to use some bigger beads or doing maybe a 1-bar method. But even now that I've been doing nails for a while, I still like to just go in and do like a 4-bar method, because that's just what works for me. But as you guys know, different things work for different people, so just stick to whatever you feel more comfortable with. But we're gonna go ahead and finish this hand off and I will be back. Alrighty, so we're done with this one, and then we had to repair her thumb. So I was soaking off the acrylic. I used a cotton ball with acetone, and then just soaked it with the little clip. So I pushed back the cuticles, and now I'm removing the shine from the natural nail. After that, I'm gonna go in and size my tip and glue it down. As always, to glue down the tips, I use my KDS glue. So I'm gonna dust the nail off first, and then find a tip. Apply the glue right on the tip and just hold it down for a few seconds, and the KDS glue dries really fast. So I'm just going to apply the glue again, place it on the nail right on the tip, making sure that I hold her thumb really straight, that way it's not crooked. Measure it against the other hand. As you can see, it's pretty much the same size, so I don't have to cut it down. And then just follow it into whatever shape, which she has a coffin shape. So we're going to shape it as always, doing 45 degrees on the sides and then a 90-degree angle on the free edge. After that, we're just going to blend the tip right in the middle where the natural nail and the tip meets. We're going to dust the nail off, apply the primer, and then apply the acrylic. So as always, we're going to place that first bead right in the middle where the natural nail and the tip meet. Sorry, it wasn't wet enough. And then we're going to pat it down and then brushing it down towards the tip. The next one will be right below that one. So again, we're going to dip our brush into the liquid, into the powder, placing it right below that first one, brushing that down towards the tip. And also remember that when you're brushing really gently. It's like you're literally feathering the acrylic down, because if you brush it too hard, you'll be dragging that acrylic off the nail. So make sure you keep that in mind. And then also you will see me like brushing the sides of the nails, and that's just so the acrylic doesn't run off the nail and it like takes away from our shape a lot. But as you can see, I placed that third bead right behind that first one, brushing it down towards the tip again. And then my next one would be right in the middle. So this is what's going to create our apex. So brushing it down, getting it close to the cuticle area, and then as always, cleaning around that cuticle area really good. We don't want any of the product on the skin because it will cause our nail to lift. And then after that, that's it. So again, that was the 4-ball method, and that's usually what I try to stick to. And then as always, if you need to go back and add some more, then that's fine. So again, you don't have to stick to a certain method. You don't have to do a 3, 4, 5, 6 or 1-ball method. Whatever you feel comfortable with. It's always going to be different. You might have not grabbed a big enough bead, so you need to add some more, or maybe you grabbed a big bead so you don't have to add some more. But whatever works for you is fine. So now we're going to go in with the 100 nail file, and we're just going to be reshaping the nails. This is a step that you do not want to skip. You want to always go back and reshape the nails, because as you can see, after after they wear the nails for 2 weeks, it's just from tear and wear. Is it tear and wear or wear and tear? I don't know. But from just wearing your nails, it kind of takes away from the shape. And then even after applying the acrylic, it takes away from the shape as well. So we're just going back to redefine the shape. We're keeping the same shape that she had, which is the coffin. We're literally just going back in to make sure that it's perfectly coffin. Again, this is a 100 nail file. We're just reshaping, and then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other hand. And I'll be right back. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go in with my fine drill bit, and we're gonna be filing the nails. So as always, I start around that cuticle area, working my way from the right side over to the left side, just going back and forth until I'm able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way I know that there's no acrylic on the skin and we won't get any lifting. It's also really important that you seal that acrylic really good, just because that's where our lifting comes from. If you were to leave any little gap in between the acrylic and the natural nail, moisture is going to get trapped under the nail and it's going to cause the nail to lift. So make sure that you seal it really good, and also it just makes the nail look so neat. If you go in and just file really good, it makes it look really nice and neat and not sloppy and just really natural. So make sure that you file really good, and then also as well make sure that you file the rest of the nail with the belly of your drill bit. As you can see, to file around the cuticle area, I file with the tip of the drill bit, and then to file the rest of the nail, I'm using like the middle of the drill bit, and that's just to make sure that the whole nail is nice and smooth. Like at the beginning, you will have to do a lot more filing, especially if you're still having problems with your application. So you are going to do a lot more filing, but if you're getting the hang of a good application, then you're going to have to focus more on that cuticle area to make sure that you seal the acrylic really good. So I'm going to finish the other hand, and we're going to be doing the same thing, filing around the cuticle area and then filing the rest of the nail as well. Alrighty, so I finished filing the nails, so I'm just going to go in with a buffer. As always, this is just to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nail from our e-file or the hand file. So we're just making sure that they're nice and smooth. And then as always, I use my thumb to just go over the top of the nail to make sure that it's nice and smooth. And then if it's not, of course, I go back and buff a little bit more. And that's pretty much it. So after this, we're going to go ahead and just dust the nails off and wipe them off with an alcohol wipe. Or you can have your client go wash their hands. Whatever works for you is fine. Alrighty, so I wiped the nails off with an alcohol wipe. And now I'm going to go in with my Madam Glam gel polish in the color Popsicle, which is this really pretty purple. Again, it is a gel polish. And it's going to be really plain and simple and really pretty. We're just going to do this on all of the nails. We're only going to be doing one coat just because, as you guys know, Madam Glam just have like the best coverage. Like all you need is literally one coat and you're good. But I usually try to do 2 coats on everyone, like every set, but on this one I'm only gonna do 1 coat because the coverage was just really good. And then since I was gonna go back and add the glitter polish, I didn't want it to be super thick. But whatever works for you, if you want to do 2 coats, that's fine.
that'd be the boyfriend. And then I guess they just throw it in the line because it's like, yeah, I know that you fighting, you go to jail, you might get in trouble, you go to jail. And then my thing, and like, she just get out today. And my thing, and her son going to tell people that his mom's there to fight. But my thing is, if you have to keep continuing to fight this man, like, see, I can do that toxic negative stuff. And like, that's not the first time. And like, girl, you have a low rap sheet. She said she's just messing up her future. I'm like, oh, well, you want to be here all your life? Okay, no problem. So like, when I'm done with school, like, I'm leaving Arkansas. I gotta go. Where would you go, Atlanta? You know what? No, I want to go. This is gonna be crazy. I want to go to Alaska. Oh, really? Yes. What's out there? The cold. I love the cold. And then some was like they basically pay you for saying that. And I'm like, no, to me. And then I can watch my major again. So what? I'll be watching all these real shows and stuff. I can do too. I ain't no that stuff. Because what are you doing right now? I'm trying to education. I want to work tomorrow. I want to go. How long do you get off for Christmas? Just what? Who raised y'all? Hey, sir, I'm done. Yeah? Okay. All right, bye.
Alrighty, so I did one coat of the popsicle gel polish on each hand and cured for 30 seconds. So now I'm going in with a layer of this D&D gel polish in the color Golden Sahara Star. And we're just going to do a thin layer of this. As you can see, it looks really pretty. And it reminds me of like, it's been a while since I've actually done this. Just like really simple polish with glitter on top. It's really simple. A lot of the time, you know, my girls get just crazy rhinestones and a lot of designs, but she wanted to keep it really simple, which I don't mind. But again, we just did one coat of the purple, and then we're doing one coat of the Golden Sahara Star. So I'll be sure to leave the link in the description to both of those gel polishes. Alrighty, so we did one coat of the glitter. So now we're just going to go in with the IBD gel top coat, and then we're going to cure that for 60 seconds. So as always, I cured my gel polishes for 30 seconds, and then I cured the gel top coat for 60 seconds. And I'm using my Melody Susie UV LED lamp. As you guys know, I've been using that one for quite a while now, but it's still working really good. I haven't had any issues at all, so I'll be sure to leave the link in the description to that as well. So again, we're going to go ahead and do the top coat on both hands and curing each hand for 60 seconds. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. They turned out really pretty, really simple and cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at GetNail32, and I'll see you guys next time.